Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be going through the topic of monoclonal antibodies, so make sure to support this channel by subscribing. This is also the last video in the topic of infection and response. Firstly, we'll look at what monoclonal antibodies are. So, it's an antibody made up of cloning a unique white blood cell. These antibodies can treat certain diseases and they are also used for research. Let's now go on to how these antibodies are made. As we learned in the last video, antibodies are produced by certain blood cells called lymphocytes. So monoclonal antibodies are produced from lots of clones of single white blood cells. This means that they are all identical. However, one disadvantage of lymphocytes is that it doesn't divide very easily. On the other hand, tumor cells don't produce antibodies but divides very quickly. Due to this, scientists fuse a mouse lymphocyte with a tumor cell to create something called a hybridoma. And hybridoma cells can be cloned to get lots of identical cells that produce the same antibodies. Then these antibodies are collected and purified. So this is just an overall summary of how monoclonal antibodies are made. Now on to the uses of monoclonal antibodies. So they can be used to treat diseases, and different cells in the body have different antigens on the cell surface, so you can make monoclonal antibodies that will bind to specific cells in the body. Cancer cells have antigens on their cell membranes that aren't found on normal body cells. They're called tumor markers. In the lab, you can make monoclonal antibodies that will bind to these tumor markers. An anti-cancer drug can be attached to these monoclonal antibodies. This might be a radioactive substance, a toxic drug, or a chemical which stops cancer cells growing and dividing. The antibodies are given to the patient through a drip, and they only target specific cells such as cancer cells because they only bind to the tumor markers. The drug kills the cancer cells but doesn't kill any normal body cells near the tumor, which is an advantage. And in labs, monoclonal antibodies can be used to bind to hormones and other chemicals in the blood to measure some substance level. And they're also used to test blood samples in labs for certain pathogens. Now onto the disadvantages and advantages of monoclonal antibodies. So one advantage of monoclonal antibodies is that it treats certain types of diseases and cancer. And one disadvantage is that there are many side effects. And so scientists have seen that monoclonal antibodies do cause more side effects than they were originally expected. So some of these side effects can be fever, vomiting, or low blood pressure. Another advantage is that it doesn't affect healthy cells. So in the process of killing the cancer cells, the healthy cells are not killed or affected. And another disadvantage is that they aren't used as much. This means, because it created a lot of side effects, they weren't as widely used as treatments as scientists had originally thought they might be. So that's all you need to know for this topic of monoclonal antibodies. If you like this video, make sure to comment down below and subscribe. Thanks for watching.